how your mornings are, but mine are a little bit crazy, like pretty hectic. And I'm always hungry in the morning, but I got to figure out something for breakfast that isn't going to take a ton of time, right? I'm Jen Sabotin of FuelYourTransformation.com, and in this episode, I want to share with you a recipe that's perfect to make ahead, and then you can have breakfast to take with you on the run in the morning as you're heading out the door and getting ready for work. So this recipe is for something called overnight oats. It's a form of oatmeal, but it's not a hot oatmeal. It's actually a chilled oatmeal, and here's the good thing, there's no cooking involved. None. All you're going to do is put things together, put them in the fridge overnight, shake it up or stir it in the morning, and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to share one recipe with you for this tonight, but the beauty of this is that you can change up the flavors however you want. So the one that I'm going to share with you today is one of my favorite. It's blueberry maple, but you can use orange, you can use apple, and you can add different kinds of nuts into it and all kinds of things. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to need is a container. Now, a lot of people use like little mason jars. They can use the glass ones. This one happens to be like a ball canning jar, and it's the plastic kind with a little snap-on lid. This is originally what I used, but the problem that I noticed with these is that there wasn't really enough room to kind of stir things around, and I was spilling stuff, and so I needed to change up to something a little bigger. So you could do something like this, just a little plastic container. I think I actually got something like this at the dollar store. This is a nice one that I use sometimes. This actually came in my lunchbox. It was like a kit that had little storage containers inside my lunchbox. So that one's perfect. Or something like this. This is just the type of storage containers that I use. So any of these are perfect. So I'm going to make a couple of these ahead. And that's the nice thing, like I said, is usually I make these on Sunday evenings and then again on Wednesday, and you can make enough for 3 days. I wouldn't really leave them any more than 3 days. I think that's just kind of my limit, but they're good for 3 days. So you can make enough on Sunday evening that'll get you through, and then Wednesday evening we'll finish the rest of the week. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up. And so the ingredients here, the first thing you're going to need is oats. Now, there's a couple kinds of oats. These are called, you can see it right there, rolled oats. These are probably what you think of when you're thinking of oats. It's the kind of like, I know they might not be able to see that, but the kind of little flat oats that you're used to when you're thinking of traditional hot oatmeal cereal. The thing is, with rolled oats, there's two kinds. There's old-fashioned, and then there's quick cook. You don't want the quick cook, okay? You just want the regular old-fashioned rolled oats. The other option is steel-cut oats. This is a completely different texture. This actually, they're almost like little granules. It kind of actually reminds me of a cereal that my parents used to eat when I was a kid. It was called grape nuts. So they're kind of nutty like that. They have a different texture to them. And so the first thing that you're going to add in, and you can choose either one of these, or I actually mix both of them in. I like the steel cut oats because it gives it sort of that nutty texture. It's a little bit chewier. But if you just go with the rolled oats, that's fine too. So the first thing you have to add in is a 1/4 cup of your oats. And again, I'm just going to get my cup here and measure in. And so I'm going to just put that in there. I'll just do this one here, and I'll make my others after I'm done with you guys, but I'll just do one for now. So I've got my oats in there, and then the next thing that you're going to add is your milk. And I use almond milk. You can use whatever kind of milk you like, but I use almond milk just because it has less calories than regular cow's milk, and it has less fat. So I just use that almond milk, and I've got my 1/3 cup here. Okay, so I've got my milk in there. And then the next thing that goes in is plain Greek yogurt. So not that cup of flavory yogurt that you might have as a snack. You got to watch that. A lot of those yogurts have a ton of sugar in them. So you need to watch out with what kind of yogurt you're buying, but in this kind you specifically want it to be plain, so it's unflavored, and Greek yogurt. That's a little bit healthier yogurt for you. And you're going to add in a 1/4 cup of that Greek yogurt, and actually this counts as protein. The Greek yogurt is a lot of protein. So I don't really mind too much if I go over on that, because I can always use the extra protein there. All right, so that is going in. So I got my Greek yogurt in there. Now the next thing that you can add are some different kinds of seeds. So you have probably heard of chia seeds, right? If you're my age-ish, you know chia seeds, you know, chia, and you spread it on a terracotta thing and it grows like hair or whatever, right? So it's those kind of seeds, but they're actually really healthy for you. And so you're going to add in your chia seeds, and on those you're going to add in 1½ teaspoons. So I'm going to go ahead and get my measuring here. Put in my chia seeds. And you can also actually add flax seeds too. Flax seeds are really good for you. So I'm going to kind of mix in a little bit of those too and split up my measurement there between chia and flaxseed. So I've got that. And then you're going to add now a sweetener. Now I don't mean like go crazy with sugar and that sort of thing. In this recipe, my sweetener is maple syrup. And usually that's my go-to sweetener, either maple syrup or honey. And we're talking like real maple syrup, not Aunt you-know-who and in a squeezy bottle that comes out super thick, and not that stuff. Like real maple syrup. I'm from Ohio. We do maple syrup. It's actually sugaring season now. We've just been having our big pancake breakfasts and maple syrup festival. So need real maple syrup. And for that you're going to add in 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that. There we go. And then the last thing you're going to add in is whatever you're going to use to flavor it. And so I told you in this one it was going to be blueberry maple. And let me get my cup back out here. For blueberry maple, my flavoring, I put in the maple, and so here goes the blueberries. Make sure we got enough of those in there. Perfect. So that's it. I mean, all I've done is scoop stuff into this dish, and it doesn't look too appetizing right now. There's a big blob of yogurt in there, there's milk, and then there's some seeds and berries swimming around. So you don't eat it like this. This is kind of unappetizing right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the lid on, and you want to make sure that it's on there good, and then give it a shake. That gets all the ingredients mixed around. That's why I kind of didn't like this little container, which was the original one that I was recommended to use. I just didn't think it gave the stuff enough room to move around, because that milk is going to soak into the oats, the maple syrup in there. It's going to soften up the seeds and the oats and all of that. So you want to get it good and mixed, and then you just set it in the fridge. Just set it in there overnight. Like I said, you can make 3 or 4 of them ahead of time, and in the morning it's thickened up, and you're just going to eat it. It's a cold cereal. All right. Now, if you don't care for cold cereal in the morning, and if you want to try a different oatmeal recipe, another thing that you can do is you can do an overnight oats in the crock pot. Crock pot was one of the tools I mentioned to you guys that every kitchen should have. And in the blog article that goes along with this video, I'm going to put a recipe for the crock pot oats as well. I have a really good apple cinnamon crock pot oats. So hopefully you guys will give this a try. You see that it was really, really easy. I'm just going to put this in the fridge. I'm going to make a couple more here. Take care, guys.